As promised, we have the man himself, Hikaru. Welcome to the show. Obviously, not the result you wanted, or the result you fought for so long. Unfortunately, was not attainable after that final night to G6. How are you feeling right now?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, at the very end, what there was some way to still win, you mean?
Knight to G6 was the final mistake. Let's
Oh, with
say
the knight on E5. It's still winning there or not?
with the knight
Yeah,
on E5, yes.
apparently king b8, and then you can play a6.
You mean with the three versus two, though, is what you mean. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes,
sorry. You mean the three
yes,
versus two. Okay, that's what you mean.
yes.
Yeah, no, no, okay, that's fine.
Mm,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, what
just the
to
knight though.
say? I mean, yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, obviously, I haven't looked at the game. It's just, yeah, it's really disappointing to put it mildly. I mean, it's a game that I should have won for sure. But uh, it's nature of getting old.
I have to say, from the beginning, though, you did play a very precise game. Both of you guys were playing very precisely up until you started outplaying him. When did you feel that
Mhm.
that moment came? When did you feel like he started erring?
Well, I mean, there are a couple things. First things first, I think there's a very obvious flaw with the event from the standpoint that, especially with the players preparing together before the games, you end up in a situation where players can copy each other. So,
Hmm.
Hmm.
so I mean, I don't think it can be understated how big of a problem this is, simply from the standpoint that, I mean, I saw Fabiano had played Bishop D5 and Queen G8, and I was considering it, don't get me wrong. But when I saw Fabiano had done it, I just copied him. And I think that's a huge problem because there's no way really to avoid it. Everybody's going to be looking at the same sorts of ideas. So, so that's the first thing. But beyond that, though, I mean, I thought that, I thought that what was a mistake? I think the big mistake was somewhere around here when he played D4. Mhm. Yeah, I played G5. He played. I mean, I don't know. I had a feeling F5 was, yeah, actually a mistake here. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, F5 was the first mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's like black's better or anything, but I still think it should have been a draw up until he
D4.
played this we played this ridiculous move. He played what did he play? He
G4.
played knight takes D7 or something? No. I mean, no, not here. I mean, even later. It should have been an easy draw for him if he played what was the move? He did something. He play knight he played knight e6. That was the move that I was really confused by. Like already
Yes,
here I thought after rook e7 the game was going to be a draw.
yes,
Um, that
you're
I
right.
was
Yeah.
expecting rookie seven. I expected it to be a draw. I mean, but also, there's a second problem. I mean, I'm not going to assume that he did this with the intention. Of course, obviously, to give your opponent the benefit of the doubt. But he also made it draw for somewhere around here, give or take like one or two moves. Um, and that also is, I mean, not great because yesterday I made that mistake, and then he told me that there was a 40 move rule, and then today he offered a draw on like move 20. So like I mean I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt that I assume he was just nervous when he did it. I don't think it was on purpose. But yeah, I mean, I thought that 96 was a terrible move, and somewhere around here I thought I would just win the game very easily. And I mean I should have won the game. I thought I played all the best moves.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
yeah, knight
Everything
e3, of course,
was.
and I was shocked that he took on e3 because this is just losing by force, basically. I mean, rookie one's the only try,
Yeah,
but
rook e1, we expected him to play
but
it.
rookie one's still bad. I mean, I can still probably play like king c7 and then knight e4, and it's probably just winning long term.
Yep, yep.
But yeah, and then the end game. I mean, I tried to get fancy for no reason because I just missed bishop f3. I mean, I saw there were two ways to win this end game if you go forward. Yeah, I keep going. Like right here, I should just play knight. No, go back. I should just play
Yeah,
knight
knight
c3. I mean,
c3.
I get the same version of the end game basically, but it's much cleaner. Like he goes what bishop f3,
Hmm.
Mm.
knight takes a2. And if he goes king d1, now I can just go c5, and it's a much simpler version of the same thing. I mean, it's
Yes,
just
Mm.
much simpler version, and it's just game over on the spot.
yes.
Yeah, no
But then like
breakthroughs.
I kind of saw this, and I thought the other one was nicer and more thematic, which was also kind of stupid because I had 17 minutes here. I mean, I had 17 minutes in 4 minutes, and then I just went into this one, which is winning, but I mean, it's gonna require some work, I think. So keep going. Yeah, takes. Yeah, of course, all this is forced. Knight f4. Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, I missed bishop f3. That was the problem. I didn't see bishop f3, so I thought the whole thing was just over on the spot.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then it's a little bit unpleasant because you think you're winning on the spot and then you aren't winning. And even here, I mean, to not go a6. I don't know. It was right here.
A5
Maybe a
as
few moves
well.
later.
Yeah.
Well, but a5 he takes.
And now it seems like you go into this
D3.
endgame after
King
d3.
c3.
E2
Oh, and I just have knight e6, knight c5. Is
and
that why?
96. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, this
Yeah.
one's not super. This one's not super obvious, to be fair.
No.
But the one that I should have played was if you go forward after knight e6, knight e5. I mean, like go here was I should just play a6. I mean, this is oh, okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's some repetitions, but I should just go a6 here.
Yeah.
And I
Hmm.
mean, I just stop him from getting b5, a5, and I just win the game. I mean, I just win the game easily.
Yeah.
It's not a question. I mean, it's just absurd. 'Cause if he goes b5, then I go a5, and it's just I have knight d7 later. I mean, there are 20 different ways to win. So
And if he goes a5, now you get access to b5. You can go
yeah,
king
king
c6, king
c6, king
b5.
b5. I mean, the problem is when I mean, basically, I just blundered a few moves later. When I played king d5, I mean, I just blundered that he has a c6, the c6 push. I mean, I just blundered king d5, c6 takes b6. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
so stupid here. Yeah, I blundered so c6.
Hmm.
Yeah. This
This
was
this
the
is this is
study.
not winning, right? Yeah, an a6, and I just I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
just so bad. I
Yeah.
mean, just so bad. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just disappointing.
But even after king d7, and I think this
Yeah, but I
might
mean,
be
but the
the only
problem is
move.
here now already though it's very hard to play because you have to figure out how to win this. And already here I'd blown my whole time advantage too. And as we all know, when I get really low on time, I mean I have no brain anymore. So yeah, just how it
I think that
goes.
applies to most people.
To most people,
I
yeah.
wouldn't
It's
be too
normal,
harsh
Hikaru.
on myself.
I mean,
S-
you can say that, but I mean the fact is, if this is even 5 years ago, I mean I win this game easily. I mean even here I would not panic the way I did, but. Yeah, I mean, it's very frustrating. I mean, I'm not happy about it. And I know for people in chat who want to say it's an excuse, if this didn't happen every game, maybe I could believe people saying that. But unfortunately, it happens every game when I get really low on time nowadays. So, yeah, it's just really disappointing because I should have won this game.
Obviously, the time management could have been better towards the end. But are there any positives that you're taking away from this game going into tomorrow's encounter?
I mean, the positive is obviously that I outplayed my opponent. I should have won the game. That's obviously the positive side. So I guess that's a good thing. But you know, the result ultimately is what matters the most, I guess you could say. And to take this from winning to a draw is just, yeah, really bad, really bad. So, yeah, I mean, there's still another game, obviously, and I have the white piece tomorrow. So who knows what will happen.
And how did you feel, Hikaru, when you found out that Javahir picked you?
I would say it wasn't as crazy as I think people assumed it was. I actually thought it made a lot of sense. He clearly I haven't played a lot of chess recently, and Gukesh has been stellar, to put it mildly. I mean, putting it very mildly, in both World Championship, of course, and Tata Steel. And I mean, it was basically 50-50 because he for whatever reason he won't pick Noterbeck, his countryman. So it was going to be me or Gukesh, and I think he assumed that it's much closer to, I guess, regular chess than anything else. That would be my guess as far as why he picked me over Gukesh. But on the other hand, you could go the other way. I don't know what happened in Fabiano's game, but Fabiano made a very surprising choice in my opinion, because I thought Fabiano would pick Noterbeck. Given the choice between Noterbeck or Gukesh, I mean, you'd kind of expect Fabiano to pick Noterbeck, and then he
Mm.
picks Gukesh. So I mean, it seems like one player gives a lot of respect to Kukesh, and one player just thinks Fischer Random is different than classical chess. So it was interesting. It was interesting.
And you didn't see the result of Fabiano's game, right?
I didn't see that one. No, I was too busy being annoyed at
We will
myself.
let Hikaru find out.
Well, I can see Fabiano won, right? Yeah, he won. Okay.
Fabiano did
It
win.
was a
Yeah.
crazy game. And
Yeah, I mean, actually, I thought, I thought that what Gukesh did with Bishop F2, was interesting. I
mhm.
thought that actually made more sense than what Sindarov did with 93. I actually thought Bishop F2 was maybe a little bit better.
Oh,
Maybe
really?
it's
I actually
not.
was
Okay. I
surprised
mean,
with this move.
so it's all very random. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was
But
yeah,
the brilliant move that Gukesh found was Rook A1.
that's a really good move.
It's the best
Hmm.
move. Yes.
It's the best move,
Wow.
but it's just how unusual it is.
Yeah, I mean it's strange. Yeah,
But
strange
then
chess.
Gukesh did not find on did not take on a5 for some reason, and that
Yeah, I
was
mean it's kind of
surprising.
it's kind of what it is. By the way, since someone in chat did ask, I copied Fabiano with Bishop D5 Queen G8. It was one of the ideas I saw, but when Fabiano played it, I just figured I'd follow him because, as everybody knows, I made the comment that I think Fabiano is the player who's probably looked at the most, or it felt like he has the most general knowledge. So I mean, there's no reason not to copy him in the game.
But how do you think there is a way to avoid copying the starting? Like
I
it's
mean,
a,
I don't think there is I mean, I don't think there's a way to avoid it. I mean, I also think, I mean, if I'm being frank here, I thought this was a very tough position to play for Black,
Mm.
and like, I mean, I didn't see Levon's game, that looked a little bit less clear, but I mean, I did see Magnus's game, and I mean, it looked like Magnus just steamrolled
Mhm.
Noterback. It
He
didn't even
did.
look like
He
it was
did.
a game.
Yeah,
He did.
Um,
Yeah.
and I mean the issue, of course, with the format is when you have two games, if you get a great position one game and then you don't get a great position the next game, I mean, what to do? Because that's obviously what happened to Fabiano last year. I mean, he played Magnus, and the first game was a pretty standard position, and the second game, I think Fabiano blundered on move one or two, got a worse position, and just, I mean, couldn't do anything. So, I mean, there are definitely issues with the format from that standpoint, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about like my game. It's just in general. I'm looking at the issues because obviously there's supposed to be some meeting or something in like an hour where the players are supposed to talk about FIDE or whatnot. So that doesn't help my
Well,
mood.
Hikaru will let you
I mean, I can
finish.
hang around for a few more minutes if you want me to.
Up to you. I think all the games are over. I wanted to give you some time to go do the recap before
Yeah.
the FIDE meeting, but if you want to
I
discuss
mean,
any of the games before the recap,
yeah, I mean, because
um,
people are asking. I mean, it's just this. I mean, do I even care? I guess is the question. But what I would say is like, there's some meeting and the players are supposed to discuss they want to call it a world championship or not call it a world championship at the end, or
is this for
something
next
like
it's
this.
still
Or
being
year's?
discussed about this event.
my impression was for at the end of these tournaments. I mean, that was my
Wow.
impression. But I mean, what do I know? That was my impression as far as the meeting goes. So I have no idea what I mean, I have no idea what the situation
But
is.
does it change for you psychologically when you play, like whether it's World Championship or not?
No, not really. I think, I mean, I just want to play chess and enjoy it, I guess I would say. I don't think I look at it. I mean, I would be frank. I think that when I look at an event, I feel like a world championship traditionally has like a big match.
Hmm.
Or some kind of match. And if you have tournaments that are decided with like like an event like this where everybody doesn't have to play each other in the same kind of way, like the candidates, for example, everybody plays everybody, and then you got there. I mean, it feels kind of odd, but I mean, it's a free world. People can do whatever they want to do. So like, I'm not gonna be one to like, complain about, it, but I think it's just semantics. To me, it's all kind of the same.
But you are technically a world champion in this format.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I played the matches. I mean, I beat who did I beat? I beat Nepo in the final. I forget who I
Yeah.
beat before him, but
Magnus.
it wasn't. I didn't beat
Was it
Magnus in the match format. No,
was
Magnus
it
lost to
Fedeseev?
Nepo.
Was it Fedeseev before
I
Magnus?
beat someone. Maybe it was Fedoseev. I mean, I forget who it was, and then I beat Nepo in the
Because
final
Magnus
because
was
Nepo
playing
beat. Ah,
Noderberg.
I beat Noterbeck. No, I beat Noterbeck. That was the
Ah,
year that
okay.
Noterbeck's. Yeah, because Noterbeck was like destroying everybody,
And Magnus
and then
lost
he
to
ran into
Nepo,
me.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think yeah, I guess technically you could say that. I mean, to me it's all kind of like it's all kind of silly. I don't think that I like any of what's going on objectively. But it's what it is. To me, it's all semantics. Like I think for 99% of the players, the ability to play in FIDE events, the ability to play in these events is what most players want. And I think that's probably as long as the players are able to play in whatever events they want to play in, that should be the goal, I think. I mean, whether you call it a world championship or not, I think that should be the goal for the players. As long as the players get to play in the events they want to play in, that's all that matters, in my opinion. I
What
know
do you
you
feel
guys.
what do you
Sorry,
feel
go
the
ahead.
solution is going to be to this tug of war, let's say? Because FIDE
No
doesn't
idea.
seem to be budging away from giving the name. And obviously, it seems like freestyle chess is over with negotiations as well. So, what do you feel the solution is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what the solution is. Yeah, I've got no idea. I've got no idea what the solution is. As I said before, I think that whatever freestyle chooses to do, it's up to them, obviously. I think that, FIDE, my personal opinion is FIDE is being way too over the top. They're taking this way too seriously. If you were to ask me, it's hard for me to believe that people are going to compare this to the classical world championship. If I'm being honest, it's just hard for me to believe that. When you look at the amount of people around the world who have tuned in over the last couple of times, so to me, it's kind of silly. That's my take, obviously. And I think FIDE has gone way over the top, but. I don't know what's going to happen at the meeting tonight, but I think ultimately, as long as the players have the ability to play in the tournaments that they want to play in, that's what matters. And I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Danny's here now too, so like, who even knows? It's all it feels like I'm in some kind of bad comedy, if I'm being honest. It feels like I'm like in some bad comedy or some kind of weird reality show, and I kind of don't even understand what's going on.
Next tomorrow
That's my
probably.
honest take, and like also because it's kind of weird. Like I mean, this has no bearing on the game, obviously, but it's kind of weird that if you want to have a very super serious tournament, it's kind of weird that you have like spectators in the playing hall, but you also have film crews who are literally moving from side to side the whole time. Like it feels like some kind of weird. It feels like some kind of weird thing from outer space, and
Reality
I'm a
show.
little I'm a little bit confused by all of it. And I'm not for anybody who thinks that I'm just saying this, I'm like annoyed about the game. Like it's not really about the game itself. It's just I'm a little bit confused because it feels to me like either you have to be like super serious to the nth degree where it's like you treat it like the candidates, for example, or you take it completely chill the opposite direction. But anything in between feels really really weird to me. So it's been a strange day. It's been a strange day for sure. And it'll probably only get weirder and stranger tonight, undoubtedly.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe Emil or Arkady are going to be flying
Are
in
they
as well.
flying
Who
in as
knows?
well?
To
Staying at the
Germany.
Weissen house? That would be
I
funny.
have I mean I
I
honestly
don't think
Fide
we should start
Villa.
any rumors.
Fide Villa.
I honestly have no idea what's going on with the situation, but to be clear, my understanding is that it's a discussion about this year. It's not some discussion about next year or 2 years down the road, but it's like a discussion about this year. So I don't know, and yeah, I'm sure, no doubt, people on the internet will probably wonder what's going to happen tonight, but yeah, it's just bizarre. All of it is bizarre.
Well, Hikaru, I'll let you sign us off, and perhaps you can give us some updates during your recaps after dinner,
I mean,
post
I'll
dinner
just
updates. But
I'm gonna go do my recap now. Try to get it done in 30 minutes, and I guess I'll show up and listen to whatever's being said. Yeah,
take it from there.
yeah. I mean, it's a very one last thing I would say is it's a very strange world when I look at like the progression of the last 5 years. It just sometimes I think about what's happened. I just become very very confused by where things have ended up. So I'm really kind of confused, but that's how it goes. So anyway, I'll do my recap now, and I will obviously let everybody know what's happening. And then tomorrow there will probably be some press release or some statement or something, who knows what, about everything that's going on. But we'll see. So I'll see you guys later, and hope you guys enjoy the show and have a good one. See you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you,
Cheers,
Hikaru.
everybody. Bye, bye, bye.